Hello everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. It's been a long time since I've filmed. You guys might be seeing an older video of mine go post before this one, but this is kind of the one that I'm filming after my little hiatus. I kind of took like a month hiatus from YouTube. You guys have probably noticed. Anyway, so this is the new reading that we're doing today, and this is going to be psychic love messages just for you. So we're going to be getting personalized psychic love messages. Whatever is going to come through with that topic today is what's going to come through. So yeah, these are going to be more like, could be like general love messages or just in general, what's coming for you in love, something like that. But yeah, where is your love life turning? Where is it going? Remember, we're looking to the future here. So we're looking at what's coming next in your love life, how your love life is going to play out into the future. I have a few different decks today. I have the Moonology Oracle cards. I have the Crystal Spirits Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And I'm also using the Under the Oak Tarot. And I'm also pulling Love Story Oracle cards to add that extra love flavor to the reading. If you've never watched a pick a card before, there are 5 crystals in front of you. Each of these crystals is associated with a specific group. So this crystal would be group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. Basically, you're going to use your intuition or your instincts or however you like to choose crystals. You know, you can pick your favorite, which one is your favorite color, whatever. Or if you really want to like make sure you get that real message, tap into your intuition for sure. But yeah, basically you pick one of the crystals, then in the description box and the comment section, there's timestamps associated with each group. You will click on the corresponding group that goes to your crystal, and then that timestamp will fast forward you to your reading today. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to show you the crystals one by one, then we'll give you a moment to choose the crystals. In that moment, you can pause the video if you need to, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, let me show you the crystals one by one, and then we'll get right into your guys' reading. Sorry about that interruption. If it cuts weird when I'm editing or something, I had some people knock on the door right when I picked up one of the crystals. So yeah, let's get into the groups. Let me show you them one by one. The first group is this amethyst. It's like a cherry blossom amethyst. So it's like flower agate mixed with amethyst, and it's a generator point. So that's the first group. That's group 1. Group 2 is this hemimorphite. It's this kind of cyan colored hemimorphite stone. That's group 2. Group 3 is the angel aura quartz. Group 3 is angel aura. Group 4 is the citrine. So it's kind of a clearish citrine. Like you can really see through it really nicely. So that's group 4. And last, group 5 is this Danburite. Danburite's really hard stone. I think it has a hardness of like 8.5 or something like that. It's around 8 or something like that, or even 9. It's associated, like his theme's associated with diamonds because of they have similar hardness. Not exactly hardness. Diamond's like the hardest stone you can get, but it's up there. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys pause the video here if you need to. So remember, just click that pause button, freeze your screen if you need more time to select your crystal. I'm going to let you do that now if you need to. And with that said, we're going to move on, starting with group 1 with the flower amethyst or the cherry blossom amethyst. So yeah, I'll see you guys in your readings. I'm looking forward to reading for you guys today. It's been a while since I've done a general reading on YouTube. So yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, group 1. This is if you picked the amethyst, the flower agate amethyst, or the cherry blossom amethyst. So let's get into your reading, all about the psychic messages that need to come through about love for you guys. So first I'm going to pull a Moonology Oracle. This can give us some hints about timing and also indications about what's coming next in love, stuff like that. Well, all the cards are going to give us indications about love. So let's do this. So your card is look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. And let's get a crystal spirit card. And we have Celestite. And let's get a few tarot cards on the table. Let's try to get 4 or 5. Let's see if any shoot out offhand. Okay. So what tarot cards need to come out for group 1 and messages for them about their love life? Psychic messages, love psychic messages for group 1. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. I'm actually going to put the love story messages in the middle. So we'll do that. And then we'll get one that's a love story oracle card for you guys. Let's get a love story oracle card, and then we'll get right into your reading. This will be the last card. So love story oracle. And we have control. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so this is actually referring to, well, there's 2 types of people watching this reading. Those that are already in a relationship and those that a relationship is going to come into your life or a person's coming into your life. There is kind of an element, the cards are in a way kind of calling you guys out a little bit because they're saying in this relationship, you're going to be learning to deal with your own control issues. So, and I'm really seeing that it's going to be you guys who are going to want to feel like being controlling in this relationship. Now, I know that we're coming off with a kind of a negative tone to this reading, but this is just kind of the warning that it's just trying to tell you to be aware of, or the lesson that could be learned, or the warning you need to be aware of with this connection. I think there's going to be times, because this person, specifically with the 2 of Wands here, we have this girl with the candle and this bear with the candle. I think this person is going to be, first of all, very intimidating in a way, like this person is very wild or instinctual. This person has kind of like a wilder side to them. They have more of like an animalistic kind of approach to them. But they're also very much like, how do I put this? Like I talk about this on my channel often, is like certain people wanting more freedom than others, stuff like that. I think this person is going to want to be close with you, and they're going to want to get intimate with you. We see this again here with the Ace of Wands, specifically sexually. This person's very sexually drawn to you. I think you're very sexually drawn to this person. But with control here, there could be some issues of wanting to control your partner or wanting to make them do certain things. Like there's a feeling of wanting to make them submit to you, something like that. And one thing that I'm seeing is this kind of could rub them the wrong way or push them away is kind of what I'm seeing. And so this is kind of the next lesson in love for you guys. Your guys' love reading is coming through as more of like a lesson. And I don't think you have to go through the lesson in order to learn it. Like, for example, if you glean the information from this reading, I don't think these things will happen. I think you'll just be aware of it. Like you'll notice the impulse to want to control your partner. You'll notice the impulse to, and this could be if you're already in a relationship, and for a lot of you, if you've been in a relationship for a really long time and you know you're not breaking up, this could just be a period of time where you are kind of feeling more controlling over your partner. Like you want them to do specific things when you want them to do them, and it needs to be on your timetable, all that stuff, and your partner just doesn't seem to be listening, or your partner just doesn't seem to be, how do I put this? Your partner doesn't seem to be like receptive to the control is kind of what I'm saying. Like they seem to want to break away. They might be running from you or hiding from you or doing their own thing. Some of you might feel like your partner is cheating on them, but in reality, they're just looking for a little bit of freedom. They might be going to like a coffee shop or the movies or something just to escape the relationship, because it's like you guys are going through a period of like being extra controlling, and you're not normally like this is kind of what I'm saying for those of you in a relationship. This is a new feeling. I don't know what kind of transits are going on in the sky astrologically, but there's something going on with you guys wanting to control your partner a little bit more. Wanting them to kind of step into line and do the things you need in the relationship. I feel like you guys are maybe a little demanding at this point in the relationship, and so your partner's trying to avoid that. I am seeing though at the same time, when you and your partner are having like sexual intimacy with the Ace of Wands here, it's really on fire. There's a lot of like inspiration in the bedroom. There's a lot of physical pleasure and passion. It's like there's a fire lit beneath you and your partner. And so they're enjoying that physical component of this connection. But then when it comes to like the other aspects of this connection, it can be a little rough. So for those of you entering into a relationship, and this is a relationship coming into your life, there could be an element of like, how do I put this? Where it's like you want to catch your partner. It's almost like your partner is like you know those fluffs of dust in the air, and if you try to catch it, it just escapes your hand and there's no way you could possibly catch it. That's kind of the lesson here, is that no matter how much you want to control this person will not be controlled. And that's kind of the lesson here, that now there's ways out of this, and I think there's other aspects in the relationship that we're going to come to that are more positive and beneficial. So yeah, so hold tight, we'll get into those. One thing that I want to say with this controlling type of thing, that's kind of on this side of the reading. With the Celestite here, I really feel like surrendering to a higher power when it's coming to this person is going to be in your guys' best interest. You can even use magic to help deal with the situation rather than physical control. So for example, instead of being like, man, and telling your partner, like, you need to do the dishes, or you need to spend more time with me, or you need to check in with me, or whatever the control may be that you guys are feeling. And maybe this comes from jealousy, maybe this comes from like insecurity. I don't know what you're going through, really. I don't know why there's control. Honestly, I feel like it's just like a transit in the sky, and you guys are just feeling more dominating at this point in your life. But with Celestite, I see that surrendering to a higher power. You know, Celestite talks about communicating with your angels and communicating with higher celestial beings, and that's kind of what the stone's really good for. It's funny because 15, the number 15, is also the number of the devil in tarot. And so what I'm seeing here from this is that it's like surrendering to a higher power is going to get you out of that material world of like control. If you know the devil card, the traditional devil card in the Rider-Waite deck, there's like these two people and they're naked, but they're chained. They have like these chains around their necks. So it does indicate a feeling of control or a feeling of not being able to escape. And I feel like when you surrender to a higher power, it's going to put that distance between you and your partner. And part of the thing that you're learning to love in your relationship is surrendering your relationship to something greater than just your own sense of what you want to happen, right? So there might be a feeling of letting go and letting the person come to you when they want to, letting the person. And it's interesting because it's almost like as soon as you let go of control, your partner starts to fall into line. You know, it's like they start to kind of do what you want them to do, you know? And with Celestite here, this could be improved by like communicating with angels, guides, the universe, God, the heavens, the divine. Because what I'm really seeing here is sending out those energies out into the universe through like prayer or manifestation or affirmations or something like that, instead of trying to control your partner, is going to bring them in. It's also going to add a more spiritual dimension to your sex life with the Ace of Wands here, or a more spiritual component to the love between both of you is kind of what I'm seeing. So Celestite is kind of that saving grace for your energy when it comes to that kind of control stuff. Also, one other thing that I want to point out with this side of the reading, when it comes to your partner and when it comes to thinking about controlling them and stuff like that, look at the bigger picture. You might be wanting to control things in the details, but with full moon in Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture. This card is asking you to look at things from a wide perspective. Like, how big of a deal is it that your partner doesn't, you know, take their shoes off when they enter the house? Or how big of a deal is it that your partner doesn't, I mean, I'm thinking of little things here, but like, it's going to be something little, but it's going to be relative to you guys. It's like you have a little thing that you kind of want your partner to do, but how big of a deal is it if they actually do that thing? That's kind of the question here. It's like, look at the bigger picture. Is this small thing going to affect the future between both of you? Like, is this small thing going to be the thing that breaks the relationship? And I'm seeing for a lot of you that are already in a relationship with look at the bigger picture, it's not going to. And you realize that when you see things in a bigger viewpoint, right? So looking at things from a bigger angle, and I think you guys are just in this kind of almost like myopic state right now, is almost like, with the full moon in Sagittarius and Celestite, it's almost like you guys have abandoned your spirituality currently or something like that, or you are not looking at how this relationship has played out in the complete past or in the complete future. So looking at the bigger picture, it's like with the arrow here, it's like have your eye on the prize, right? The eye on the prize is like what you want your relationship to be like rather than what you are annoyed with certain things with your partner is kind of what I'm seeing. And so looking at the bigger picture is going to bring in this attitude. And this moon color is even a deep, deep pink, you know, which is kind of reminding me of the heart chakra mixed with the root chakra. And so something that is like going to be playing out in your reading and this relationship in general is survival instincts, control, your safety and security versus opening up your heart, really loving a person for who they truly are, giving them that sense of freedom, having that sense of unconditional love. You know, green stones are a different form of love than pink stones is kind of how I see it. And pink is kind of that unconditional love. It's like rose quartz, right? Rose quartz really is a stone that represents unconditional love. And so I really see you having this kind of growing to learn this unconditional. That's why I said it's a lesson, right? This control thing is a lesson. And even if you don't take heed to this and you still kind of control your partner, I think your partner is going to mirror back to you this lesson in a specific way where they're going to kind of confront you in a way where they're going to say like, you know, you can't do this to people. You can't be like this with people. How is anyone going to want to be with you if you're going to be like this? Something like that. I know that sounds pretty like bad, like negative self-talk, but I really think this conversation is going to be very productive. In general, it's going to be kind of like a wake-up call, and I think it's more of a heart-to-heart moment than a really confrontational discussion. Because we do have the Two of Wands here. They're holding hands. They're walking side by side. And we do have a lot of imagery of fire and forging, and almost like wands remind me of like creativity, creating something being lit up or illuminated. And we also have this Five of Pentacles here with this these little mice forging these pentacles. It's like they're creating these pentacles. And one thing that I'm seeing here is that you guys are creating a relationship together. You're building together. If you're already in a pre-established relationship and this reading is applying to you, I'm seeing that you and your partner are creating the next phase of your connection, right? You're dealing with certain issues that are coming up. Maybe you guys have been dating for like 2 or 3 years and maybe you just moved in together or something like that. Or maybe you've been dating for like 1.5 years and you just moved in together. I don't know why I'm pulling these random. Tell me if those timelines are resonating for you guys. I don't know why I'm thinking of them. But anyway, I think it's something like that. There's some kind of transition where you're moving in together, you're learning more about your partner, and you're feeling like maybe you want to control this aspect of them, something like that. But remember, you're building a relationship. You're building a future with them. Yeah, for a lot of you who are just starting a connection with this partner, you could be meeting them in a creative activity. Like if you're taking a painting class or you're taking like any kind of class where you create things or something. Yeah, like it's giving me very like fifth house energy where it's like you create something and that thing is your baby. So it could be like a sculpture class, a music class where maybe you're writing a song together with this person. It could be anything where you're actually like creating with someone. So for me in my life, this would be like me like, you know, dating one of the people in my improv troupe, something like that, because I do improv like shows and stuff like that in my free time. But yeah, mainly it's like someone who you're going to be creating something with. So whether that's music, art, theater, performance, and it can be something as simple as like, say you work at a job where you need to work on a collaborative project with someone and you're creating a presentation, or you're creating like a software product or something like that. Whatever it is, it's anything you create. So it doesn't have to be like specifically something that's traditionally seen as creative. This creative project can come in many ways, shapes, and forms. It's just working on a project with someone and having that creative aspect to it. Yeah, with Six of Pentacles, I really feel like you guys work well together with this new person. I feel like you guys work well together. I feel like you guys are cohesive with each other. With the scales here, there could be an element of karma to this connection, of something balancing out. It could be that in the past, you guys have dealt with someone who is controlling and you didn't really understand why they were controlling, and now you're seeing your own controlling impulses play out and you're like, okay, I'm starting, and you kind of getting this illumination of like, now I see why that other partner was controlling. Now I see why they were doing that with me. And it gives you a little bit of understanding for that person who tried to control you is kind of what I'm seeing. But also with the Six of Pentacles, this is a very generous connection, especially financially. I think this person is going to pay for a lot of the dates. This person is going to be there to support you financially. I think money-wise, with the Pentacles energy here, and the Six of Pentacles kind of counteract the Five of Pentacles traditional meaning, I think money is going to be really good for both of you coming up. I think that that's not going to be the issue in this relationship. So if you're worried about like finances with a partner, or maybe you want a partner who's a little more affluent or a little more independent, something like that, this person coming in has their way of being able to pay for their own shit, pardon my French, but pay for their own stuff. And yeah, I really feel like, yeah, this is just in general, like a really good connection. The only thing that I would point out, the only thing to be aware of is just don't become too controlling over this person, because it could spoil the relationship or lead to some kind of confrontation or lesson. There's two ways to learn this lesson in this relationship, because I do see you guys feeling more controlling, like, man, I just want to move them here. I just want to put them here. I just want to make my partner do this, right? There's two ways this could play out. There could be played out where you actually follow through with those controlling impulses and your partner is the one who confronts you about it. The other way that it plays out is that you're aware of these controlling impulses. It's something you're dealing with internally, and without your partner knowing it, you actually are dealing with that shadow in yourself, right? So it could be something where you have to look within and say, like, why am I truly feeling this controlling kind of behavior, right? With look at the bigger picture, it's all about the solution is a few things. Like, right, the Celestite is about letting go to a higher power. And with look at the bigger picture, it's really about looking at things from a bigger perspective, especially if you're the type of person who is you're in a relationship currently, and this is coming up for your relationship. Look at the bigger picture is just saying, like, look at the bigger timeline. Like, look at all the difficulties you've been through with your partner, and look how you've always overcome them, right? For some of you, for a rare few of you, because for most of you, I see this relationship continuing, but for a rare few of you, this could be the moment where you're thinking, like, you know what? I'm sick of trying to control my partner. I'm sick of them just doing whatever they feel like. I want them to be loyal to me. I want them to commit. I want them to follow my commands. And for some of you, you'll break up with your partner. I'm not going to lie. That's for a rare few of you. So don't take that message if it doesn't resonate. Remember, looking at the bigger picture and your whole timeline of your relationship is going to show you where you're going in this connection, right? Look at the past. Look at what has come before, right? The arrow that Sagittarius is pulling back, right? You're pulling the arrow back into the past, looking into the past, and then when the arrow gets projected, it shoots full speed into the future. So you can kind of see the trajectory of events, the trajectory of what's going to come based on looking into the past at what your relationship has already, where your relationship has already been. You're controlling, has this control feeling come up multiple times, right? And this is the wake-up call. It's like, you don't want to keep feeling like this. You've tried to work on it, and you have to surrender to the fact that your partner just brings out that controlling side in you, and it's time to break up the connection, right? It's time to leave this person, right? There's bigger and better things on the horizon. For a lot of you, though, with look at the bigger picture, you're going to see how your past and your relationship is really wonderful and there's been really good moments, there's been really pleasant experiences, and you're going to realize this control thing is just a blip in the road. You have to look at the whole trajectory, right? You might have a season, a month or two of feeling controlling of your partner, and they might have an issue with it, but you have to realize that's just a season that's going to pass. That's just a momentary period, right? And so this reading is more about a warning to, like, be aware of that controlling thing when it comes up. I also think, side note, with that kind of lesson, with the Ace of Wands here, sex life is going to be great. Like, whenever you and your partner are together having intimate moments, you're going to be really, really in a positive. I mean, I'm getting like feelings about this, but like, I think that like your sex life is just going to be, I'll just put it like that. Your sex life will be on fire. With the Five of Pentacles representing the creation here in this card and the Ace of Wands here, this could be a time where you guys are creating a baby, or where you guys could, you could get pregnant during this time. That's another possibility. With Six of Pentacles, though, I really think your partner in this period of time, someone's making a lot of money in this connection, and they're really lavishing the other one with like expensive gifts, really rich rewards. there's something about a Jupiterian abundance that's coming through with this connection. Six of Pentacles always reminds me of Jupiter for some reason, you know. I think it's actually like Jupiter and Taurus or something. I don't know. But anyway, Six of Pentacles reminds me of that Jupiterian connection. So yeah, I think that's about covers your reading. Just so you know, if I want to talk a little bit more actually about people who are meeting someone for the first time. Remember, if you're meeting someone for the first time, look at the bigger picture. It's just saying, like, ultimately, when you're looking at a relationship that you want to be in, right? For the other people, it's the past and what the relationship actually was. For you guys, if you're just meeting someone, it's looking at the type of relationship you want to be in. What type of person do you want to be in a relationship? What type of person ultimately do you see yourself being when you're with a partner? And kind of acting that part, right, with this new person. If this new person doesn't fit into that bigger picture of who you want to be in a relationship, they're not worth your time, right? If you want your partner to listen to you with this control thing and just kind of follow your lead, and that's part of your bigger picture, this partner might not be worth your time if they're going to be so elusive and escaping control all the time. Maybe you need someone who kind of follows your commands, right? Maybe you need someone who listens to you, or someone who, how do I put this, respects your authority. Yeah, things that'll help this relationship: surrendering to a higher power, using manifestation. There's ways to surrender control where someone will actually do kind of what you need them to do. Even though you're surrendering control, they actually, in a way, will kind of come around. Okay, my air just turned on, so I'm taking that as a sign to end the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. If you want to help out the channel, please like or comment below. And with that, I'm going to end your guys' reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hey group 2, this is if you picked the Hemimorphite, so this lovely cyan stone. Let's get into your reading. So first I'm going to draw an oracle card, Venology oracle card. What psychic messages need to come through about group 2's love life? You and your loved ones are safe. That's good. That's new moon in Cancer, by the way. Let's see what psychic messages need to come through about group 2's love life. We have Amethyst. Oh, that's so funny. I was just in my living room before filming this pile. I just filmed group 1 and I took a break, and I looked in my living room and my amethyst crystal was just calling out to me. Like, my amethyst crystal was like, use me, you know? Maybe it's a sign. I'm actually going to bring that crystal into here. Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm going to set this crystal off camera, but I want to put it on camera just so you guys can see this amethyst crystal. And maybe this inspires some kind of feelings of calmness, maybe. Because amethyst is kind of gets you into that meditative kind of calm state where you can really access your higher mind. Anyway, that's going to be put off to the side, just as a side note. Yeah, and then let's get some tarot cards for your reading. From the Under the Oak Tarot, let's see what cards need to come out for group 2. And we have 8 of Swords, the Tower. Let's get some more cards for group 2. We have Ace of Pentacles, and we have 6 of Cups. And last, we're going to get a love story oracle for you guys. Let's get a love story oracle for group 2. We have Hope. Oh, this is such a good read. Okay. 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 Okay, so I looked over the cards. You guys in group 2 are about to go through a new beginning in your life. The reason this is a love message is because I really feel that in this next period of your life, you could be battling with love and fear in a way where, how do I put this? The next thing coming in your love life is hope, hope for the future. And this is kind of your, almost like your solution with this hope card with 31. And it's funny because 31 adds up to 4, and we also have 4 in the amethyst. So repeating 4s could be significant. 4s to me, ever since I can't remember where I read this, but 4s to me reminded me of being safe and secure. But I also know in some cultures, like 4 is a sign of bad luck, right? Because I know in like, if you're like Chinese, it sounds like if it's the same Chinese word as the word of death or something like that is what I read at one point. And so one thing that I'm seeing here is that 4 could be a symbol of both bad luck and good luck, like something bad happening to you, but with 4 there, it's like you're safe, right? We see that again with you and your loved ones are safe right here with the new moon in Cancer. That is like the main love message here. And this is the kind of mantra I think you guys are going to want to be telling yourself in this upcoming period of your life. With the Tower here, I'm not going to lie, there is some kind of destructive influence happening in your life. The Tower is destroying some kind of structure that was built up that you've relied upon, but that really wasn't working for you. And it's almost like with the 8 of Swords, this is actually really a good thing. I'm going to be honest. You guys will feel like this is a good thing, but it can be a little scary. I just want to point that out. Because it's right next to the 8 of Swords, right? When you get 2 kind of like more negative cards next to each other, sometimes it represents like a breaking away from that negativity, especially with the Tower here. So for the 8 of Swords, like with the runes in the background too, it's dealing with communication, your thoughts, your mental activity. It's like you're feeling trapped in your own mind by something, or you're paralyzed, could be paralyzed by a decision. With the butterflies around her, your whole environment is feeling happy, fulfilled, positive. It's like on the surface, everything is going really right for you guys. Everything is going really wonderfully. Everything is going really blissfully. Like there's a feeling of just bliss in general in your life, but you still feel trapped. This is kind of the vibe of like, someone who is like on a diet, right? And they really, how do I put this? They really like have succeeded in their diet. They have a really perfect body, all these things are going really great for them, but there's this lingering feeling in their back of their mind that's like, don't you want ice cream? Like that's kind of the vibe that it's here. It's like there's this feeling that on the outside everything's perfect, but on the inside there's kind of this, it's almost like a craving is what I'm seeing. And that's not the exact metaphor I want to use, because what I want to talk about here is that it's like there's an inner confusion is kind of what I'm seeing. Almost like an inner confusion or an inner tying up of the thoughts, right? Where your mind, you feel bound by your circumstances and it's kind of suppressing your mind. Maybe you manifested a life, like a dream life for yourself. And in this current dream life, you're like, wow, I'm getting everything I want, but I don't feel content. And so what's happening is the inner world is not matching with the outer world. And so your inner world is kind of confusing, chaotic. You might be having dark visions. You might be having intrusive thoughts. You might be having issues with your mind as far as your psychology, something like that. But really what I'm seeing is your mind is tied up. It could be tied up in worries. It could be tied up in fear. That's why I'm saying there's a feeling of transferring from fear to love coming next for you in love. It's like a lot of your inner world thoughts that are fearful. The love message that's coming through for you guys is that you're going to be replacing those with a lot of loving energy. For a lot of you with 6 of Cups here, you have children and something about your life, like maybe your children are perfect, but you're having a hard time connecting with them because of stuff going on in your mind. It could be situations too where maybe the kids are having to take care of you, but the kids don't mind. The kids seem happy, but right now you're struggling with something is kind of what I'm seeing. With the Tower here, I see a major breaking point when it comes to this kind of, because this aspect, this inner world being chaotic and this outer world being stable, it cannot last forever. And the Tower points out you could have some kind of external issue, some kind of external difficulty that in a way clears your mind, right? And so this external difficulty could clear your mind or make you feel at peace temporarily. And the reason is it's meant to shock you out of your kind of like entrapment, right? Life is meant to have ups and downs. A period where things are going this well for you guys, but you don't feel comfortable with it is not necessarily the totally right environment for you guys is kind of what I'm seeing. And you guys will know if this resonates because you'll be the type of people where you'll have a lot of luck or like happiness, but then you either feel guilty about it or there's just dark thoughts getting in the way of like experiencing that happiness. Like this could be the vibes of like being in a relationship and being like, man, why do my thoughts always get in the way of the relationship? Or it's like there's a feeling of not being able to communicate your needs because the environment is so positive and happy, right? And it almost takes this shock, this external issue for you to like share some of these things, right? Because the Eight of Swords is about communication and she's bound up, she's wrapped up. So it can be like having a closed throat chakra or not being able to communicate your thoughts or ideas, something like that. So whatever this kind of chaotic event that's going to happen, that's breaking down a structure, and it could be in your actual 3D reality, is going to get you to be able to open up, share a little bit, and talk a little bit about what's going on inside you, right? This is going to be a wake-up call to your loved ones, where they kind of see what you're going through, see what you're going through internally, and I think they'll take action, honestly. But here's the thing. The main thing I want to get to is this physical thing. Because on one hand, you're happy that everything's going really great for everyone else. But on the other hand, you're having these intrusive thoughts, right? You're having these visions of like darkness and stuff like that. With the Tower here, this external chaotic thing, right? The card, you and your loved ones are safe. Just want to point out that you and your loved ones are safe through this difficulty. So whether that is, like something... I mean, I'm trying to think of awful things that could happen to you, but I can't really think of anything, and it's going to be different for every single one of you. But with you and your loved ones are safe, I really feel like no matter what is going on, you will get through it with them. You will feel safe. Your family will feel safe. And that's the thing, is that's this kind of difficulty is interesting because it's creating a difficulty for your family or your loved ones, right? If you're in a relationship, this is something happening to your partner. And if you're single, this could be something happening to someone you really love, like a best friend, or this could be something that's happening to someone, and this is an interesting thing because it's almost like with the Eight of Swords here, there's a feeling of communicating with this person specifically in a way that's like, yeah, I've been feeling these dark energies for a while and everything was going really great, and it makes sense that this happened, because I've been having these thoughts in my head, and it's like, it kind of felt like something like this was going to happen. And then your person that you're communicating with, your loved one, is like, whoa, I didn't know that. I wish you would have told me, something like that. Like, if you told me, maybe we could have prevented this, something like that. Or if you told me, maybe we could have, I don't know, maybe I would have been like more sympathetic or something. It's interesting. It's kind of this reading is giving me very weird dynamics. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's just a very interesting kind of energy. With hope here, I see that hope is what's going to tie all this together. I think this conversation with your partner is going to bring both of you a lot of hope for the future. I think it's going to be a pivotal moment with you and your loved one where they're going to say, you can tell me things. Like, you can tell me things about what's going on. Like, you don't have to keep it to yourself. You don't have to feel tied up. If you're hurting, even though I'm happy, I still want to be there for you. I still want to help you. It's kind of a feeling of knowing that, like, your loved ones are always going to be there for you. And there's a feeling of hope in these connections. With the Tower here too, it's almost like saying that whatever this physical thing is in your 3D reality that's coming to a destruction, you want to have hope for the situation, right? Because that's what's going to kind of pull you through the other side, right? We have the Fours here, which also means you're safe and protected. So there's no reason to not have hope. I also feel like with this Ace of Pentacles, something that's coming in for you and your partner. And when I say partner, I mean any loved one. This could be you and your children. This could be you and your lover. This could be you and your parents. This is just your loved ones. This is the next thing coming through in love. It's kind of like a transformation a little bit with the Tower here of love. But with the Ace of Pentacles and the Amethyst, I really feel like you're going to get some kind of big blessing from the universe that's financial in nature. With Ace of Pentacles, it's feeling strongly like it's going to come out of the blue or all of a sudden. Yeah, and with Amethyst here, and me bringing in the Amethyst at the beginning of the reading, I really feel like Amethyst could be a beautiful stone to work with in this period of time, especially because it's almost like this amethyst can facilitate a further experience of hope and a further experience of feeling safe. So if you already work with amethyst or you own amethyst, all the better, right? It might be a time to start wearing amethyst crystals around, working with amethyst specifically, because I see that with Eight of Swords here, it could clear your head a little bit. And also amethyst, I relate amethyst to meditation or creating a peaceful meditation space. Surrounding yourself with amethyst or meditating with amethyst could be very beneficial for you guys as far as like helping you clear these thoughts out. Yeah, with the Six of Cups here, if you guys have children, for some of you, you have children, this card is applying if you have children. This Tower moment is going to restructure the finances you're able to use for your kids, right? There's a feeling that this Tower moment might bring a new way of making money that is actually going to benefit your children in the long run. So you might be starting a new job coming up soon with the Tower moment, or your partner might be starting a new job, or your partner with the Tower moment could lose their job, but then they actually gain a new job right away, something like that, or they lose their job and then they get a new job. And so really where the Tower moment's painful, right? Where it is like, oh, we lost this thing, or we lost this resource, or we lost this thing in 3D reality. It's like Ace of Pentacles, the universe is bringing you a brand new thing into your space. Really quickly, back to the amethyst. Amethyst could be beneficial through this transition, right? Hope is kind of represented as this transition card. And we have a lot of purples in general, purples and blues in the cards. And it's almost like moving away from this blocked throat chakra energy and moving into a more crown chakra energy is kind of what I'm seeing. So with the Six of Cups, your children are going to benefit from this financial venture or this thing that your partner's doing or that you're doing. For a lot of you, you guys are leaving a job and getting a new job. And something about the new job is something that you really love, you know, because this is a reading about what you love. I think this new job is something that you really love, you really cherish, and you really find beneficial, or your partner does. Especially with Eight of Swords and Ace of Pentacles over here. One thing I want to bring up with those conflicting thoughts and those dark feelings in your mind, a lot of them could be coming from either your current job or your partner's stress about their job. Like if your partner is the type to suppress their feelings, this could be coming from their suppressed feelings. You could be feeling it. There's this thing that what is this? There's a system of psychology that I studied in college, and it's like when one member of a family is suppressing something, sometimes it comes out in another member of the family. It's like the family is kind of like a unit, especially with Cancer here. It's like this tight-knit unit. And so one person can be feeling someone else's emotions, especially if you guys watching this are empaths. So it's going to be mixed for you guys. For one group, you're picking up on your partner's feelings, right? You're picking up on your partner's feelings. And if they're suppressing their discomfort with their current situation, this Tower moment is going to shake things up for them. And it's going to bring you clarity of mind because they're finally getting that next stage in life where they're going to feel like more refreshed and renewed. For you guys, if this has to do with you, this Tower moment is shaking you out of your thought process, right? It's presenting something externally that is a little more destructive to kind of get you to like shake out of that kind of mental space. And with the Tower here, it could be something happening to you, right? Like you guys could be losing your job and all these worries and anxieties about your job and having to hold on to it for financial stability, whatever the reason. With the Ace of Pentacles here, you could be getting some money or a new leg up or a new start coming in your life. So that's a really good thing here because the Ace of Pentacles is representing that new beginning. And with Amethyst here, it's almost like a calmer new beginning. Or it's like with this new beginning, there's a feeling of calm or peace or serenity. I also think working with Amethyst, wearing Amethyst will clear out some of these thoughts initially, and kind of make this Tower moment a little bit lesser of an impact. I think it's still going to happen, but it's almost like going to be a less of an impact, right? Because the Amethyst will give you that kind of hopeful, serene, peaceful kind of energy. With 4 added up here and 4 here, these cards are linked, right? So Hope and Amethyst are linked in this way. You can also, if you don't want to purchase Amethyst and you don't want to buy Amethyst, meditating on Amethyst. I'll just show you this crystal one more time. Meditating on Amethyst or looking even at pictures of Amethyst or wearing purple clothing, anything like that could make you feel more calm. And like I said, the Six of Cups is just kind of coming through about your children. If you don't have children, this kind of Ace of Pentacles, this new job, this new business opportunity, this new form of income with Six of Cups here is going to represent a feeling of like childlike nature. It's like you're finally finding the work that you feel like you feel brings out your inner child, and it's like, wow, this is like something that brings me money and it brings out my inner child. I feel so comfortable in this work. I feel so comfortable in this job. I really think this tower is a good thing, because tower moments really are. They're just a restructuring, right? They're a restructuring of, you know, the kind of thing that's been going on over and over and over and over again, right? And so, you know, it's like something is like, it's almost like something could be taken away from you, but it's something that's causing you issues with the Eight of Swords. It's like this thing, even though it seemed good, it's like there's something better, right? Or there's something more psychologically fulfilling coming up. And remember, through this transition, through this tower moment, you and your loved ones are safe. There's nothing that's going to harm them. There's nothing that's going to take away the security of your family. Remember, this is almost a time to focus on you. This is just telling you that if you let go a little bit, let go of, like, how do I put this? Because I think you'll still take care of your family. It's just that, like, let go of the worries about your loved ones. Let go of and that's kind of what this reading is talking about. You know, it's like, even if your partner's going through this transition, right, with the tower moment here, there's a feeling of, like, they will be okay. You know, they're safe. You know, if you're going through a period, right? Because it says you and your loved ones, right? So it could be either of you. If you're going through this transition, you're going to be safe, right? Through this transition, you don't have to worry. There might be a shaky moment where it's like, what are we going to do? You know, that kind of thing. What are we going to do? That might be when the thoughts come out too. You're like, I've been thinking about this for so long, and it's like finally coming true, and what are we going to do, and stuff like that. But it's actually a good thing, right? It's kind of a little bit of a lesson, learning that, even if we have dark thoughts, or even if we have thoughts that kind of like manifest our reality that are more dark in nature, good things can come from it, right? Good things can come from these darker energies, right? I know it's almost like good things can come, especially when you express these feelings. You know, it's almost like, how do I put it? And for some of you, you might not want to express them necessarily if they're like too traumatizing, but I really think opening up to your partner about some of this stuff, or just expressing that you've been having dark thoughts, could be beneficial. I know for me, like I get like images in my head that are like super disturbing, and I don't really feel comfortable bringing those out into the reality around me. And they're images that don't really manifest, or if they manifest in strange ways where it's not exactly what I was thinking about. But yeah, you might not want to share these particular messages, and so it might just be a feeling of like, I've been having these dark thoughts, and then there's some sympathy from, you know, your partner or your loved ones. Yeah, it's so funny because the Six of Cups next to the Ace of Pentacles, I think your children are really going to benefit financially in the long run from this decision, or this new opportunity that's coming up. Remember, you want to seize that opportunity. You know, that's the kind of thing with the Ace of Pentacles. It's like this opportunity is going to come up, and it's asking you to seize it, you know? And it will be easy to seize it, because I see that the tower is breaking down a previous structure that has not been working. And so look to anything that that is tied to money or resources. So for example, I would not look at any kind of job that's like a paid internship, or like an internship that's not paid or anything like that. I think with this Ace of Pentacles coming in, it's going to be something with finances right away. So whatever the new job is, Ace of Pentacles indicates it's going to be something that's going to help you practically. So it's going to be something that brings in a lot more income, or something like that, or a job opens up that you wanted before you got this previous job, and that brings in a little more security, something like that. Because security is a key indicator with Cancer here. Cancer is that sign that protects, that is like protective of its energy and its loved one's energy, and it's kind of like that circle of protection, right? And so with this energy, you know, you're being asked to embody that kind of energy. Yeah, so for psychic message for what's coming next in love, a little bit of a transition, a little bit of clearing out that psychic debris that's resting in your mind, right? Learning to have hope, and that hope kind of bringing in an opportunity, you know. The hope is not necessarily also what's going to bring in the opportunity. It's more like the medication that you need to get through the tower moment, you know, just knowing that something better is coming, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and it brought some insight or something, or help in some way. And if you want to help out the channel, you can like or comment below. Otherwise, I'm going to end the reading here, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey, group 3. This is if you picked the Angel Aura Quartz, this lovely shimmery stone. So let's get into your reading. Let's first start with the Moonology card. I forgot to mention to group 2 that this can also represent timing. Yeah, we're mainly using these for the other psychic messages. So let's see what card you guys have. We have Take Time to Breathe Out. And let's get a Crystal Spirit card. Let's get a Crystal Spirit card for your guys' connection or love message. I don't know if it's connection yet. It might just be a message about love. Spessartine Garnet. Okay. And let's get some Under the Oak cards for you guys. Okay. And we have the Empress. We have the Five of Wands, and we have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Hanged Man. Okay, and then let's get a Love Story Oracle card for you guys for your psychic love messages today. And we'll get right into your reading. Okay, so your Oracle card is self-love. Ah, interesting. Funny, I said it might not be a relationship and we got self-love. Still might be a relationship. I still need to look over the cards. But yeah, let me look this over and we will get into it. Okay, so this message is something about self-love. I was still looking over the cards a little bit because this King of Pentacles, I think, is representing a person. I'm going to have to keep getting into the reading to see. But let's talk about it. So with Take Time to Breathe Out, this is giving me strong vibes that you guys have been very relational lately, or you've been dealing with a lot of people, you've been dealing with a lot of social activities. I wouldn't be surprised if you are in like a 12th or 6th house perfection year or something like that. There's some kind of vibe with Five of Wands here of people in your environment are just a little extra aggressive right now. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. It's almost like when you step outside your home or when you go to a social event, it's like you go to a social event and it's like there's people who are like not so nice there, or there's people who are competitive with you, or they're trying to one-up you. It's like you're looking for love. I'm getting the vibe that you guys have been looking for love and you're looking for a solid relationship, but the people around you are just being a little extra feisty or extra competitive, or there's like stiff competition out there in the world. It's like whenever you go out to wherever you go to meet people, right? And it's almost like there's a lot of people that are competing against you for love interest. So you might find someone you like in this period of time, or this period of time coming up. There might be a feeling that this is already going on, just so you know, because I'm getting strong energy of like present moment vibes with this reading. Like when you came to this reading, like a lot of this is already going on. So with the Five of Wands, you may have noticed that a lot of people in your environment are just kind of competing for the same person. Or there might be a person that you like, but like everybody likes them. Or there might be someone you like, but like you find out your friend likes them, something like that. There's some kind of competition with love at this current point in time. Yeah, and the thing with that is like the whole reading is really centered on this self-love card. The cards are urging you to kind of take a time out with the Hangman here. The Hangman is representing like taking a pause to reevaluate the situation. You know, it's almost like when it comes to love and romance and just obsessions and attractions, you guys have been super active. Like your mind and your heart have been super active as far as like wanting people or being attracted to people or having one desire after another desire, you know, but it's like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. It's almost like with Take Time to Breathe Out, there's a feeling of needing to release, right? Like you can go your whole life just constantly wanting people and wanting a new relationship and wanting a person and having a crush here and having a crush there. But the cards are really urging you that in this period of time coming up, and you'll notice this because when this period of time is about to arise, you'll notice people are a little more aggressive, a little more competitive, a little more jealous in your current environment. And this is a sign to retreat from society for a little while, right? This is a time to breathe out. So for a lot of you, you're in this period of being very social, being very extroverted, and being very, like, how do I put this? Like, you might be coming out of a time that's very beautiful in general, and a time that where it's like there was a lot of love, but it's almost like it's starting to turn on you. It's like, how do I put it? It's almost like the Venusian qualities of your life are kind of turning into Martian or Mars-related qualities. And for those of you who are in a relationship, I think this is asking for you to spend a lot of quality time with your partner and doing things that really you want to do, and doing things that your partner really wants to do, not doing things that your friends want you to do, not doing things that society wants you to do. Because I see with the Five of Wands here, that's like a never-ending demands, right? You guys might be that couple, if you're kind of this reading and you're the ones in a relationship, you might be that kind of couple that like you're always doing what your friends want, or you're always going to social activities or parties, and and you guys maybe are taking some time now to spend some time at home alone, or spend some time loving yourselves or loving the relationship. I really feel this feeling with this woman holding her own arm. It's like giving yourself a hug. You want to give your own self a hug, and with take time to breathe out, you need that time to relax away from social obligations, to reestablish your equilibrium, right? And it's almost like you'll know your equilibrium's out of whack because this Five of Wands energy will be kind of pushing you in a different direction. A good example of this kind of energy, this Five of Wands pushing in a different direction with the Hangman and take time to breathe out. So I have issues with food. No, I was eating this, like at this particular burger joint in my hometown all the time, right? I would eat there every day. And I had a little bit of like a tiff with the chef there because I checked my burger to make sure the order was right. And I think he got offended, or he was just having a bad day. He was just probably irritated that day because normally he's pretty nice. But I took that as a sign, just having that little rough patch of a confrontation. Like, it wasn't super extreme. It was just a little bit of extra aggression on his part. And I realized, like, whoa, okay, this is a sign to move away from this direction, right? So you can actually use people, because Mars, the planet Mars, I don't know if anyone watches the astrology podcast or just knows about astrology in general. Mars separates, it cuts, it burns, it separates, it can also motivate and can stimulate you into activity. But I'm getting the vibe of Mars almost like a cut or a severing, right? And so this aggression is meant to push you away from this group or these people or whoever in your environment's being aggressive, right? It's meant for you to take some time out, to take a break from this situation. And even if this is a work environment and there's coworkers and you have to deal with coworkers for the most part every day, you'll still find there's a lot of time to yourself, and there's a lot of time where you don't have to go engage in social activities where people could be aggressive or confrontational. With take time to breathe out in the Hangman, it's about taking a period to yourself, taking a relaxation break, knowing that with the Hangman here, it's better to come back and fight another day, even though part of you might still want to be craving or holding on to your social activities. It's better to come back and fight another day is kind of what I'm seeing with the Hangman card here. It's better to nurture yourself and find really beautiful connections with your partner if you're in a relationship, or if it's just yourself, like put on your favorite TV show, put on your favorite movie, like read your favorite book, set up a really cozy home environment, something like that. I mean, we're just entering winter, and hopefully I get this video out while it's still winter. Yeah, we're just entering winter. It's like winter time. It's time to bundle up. It's time to be a homebody. Like, don't worry about it. Your friends will still be there. And it's you don't want to be with your friends now anyway because they're just acting a little aggressive. They're acting a little testy. It's about time to take a break, right? And you'll know this because the friends are kind of acting a little more aggressive, or your coworkers are acting a little more aggressive, something like that. If you can take a vacation, it might be really nice to take like a vacation or a sick day just to spend with yourself. Like if you're at the breaking point, right? Just taking a little time out for yourself. And having that really relaxed self-care day for yourself, do what you want to do, that kind of thing. I'm also seeing love messages that are not just self-love, but self-love is coming through pretty strongly. With the Empress here, this self-love and nurturing is going to have a huge effect on your nurturing capabilities when you merge back out into the world. It's very strong Cancer energy here, where I think you're going to go within or do stuff that you want to do, focus on self-love for yourself. And when you're doing that, it's like you're breathing out, you're exhaling, and through nurturing yourself, you'll be able to merge back out into the world and nurture other people. So that's a really cool aspect to this. It's almost like you get to be the healer when you come back out into the world. And I think that taking that break is going to give you that reassessment where you can go back into the dating scene. You can go back into the scene with your friends or wherever you're spreading and sharing your love with renewed optimism, with a fresh perspective. Sometimes when we have conflicting situations, we just don't know how to get out of them because we need a fresh perspective. And the only way we can get a fresh perspective is if we take some time out, let our subconscious minds work through that issue, it's, you don't really, sometimes you don't, like, for me, I don't have to force seeing a different perspective, but if I take some time away from a friend or from a different situation, you'll start to gain that perspective. Because it's like when you're too close with someone or a group or something, like, I'm kind of seeing a group with the Five of Wands, like of peers or something. But when you're too close with people, you lose that sense of perspective on like what you truly value, what kind of relationships you're looking for, something like that. So this reading is really about a realignment, right? It's about taking these parts of yourself that are in the outer world, coming to yourself and realigning yourself, right? And the Empress card says that once you do this, you'll have this beautiful golden light emanating off of you. We see this again with this Spessartine garnet. It's actually, if those of you who don't, are not into like energy, but I'm seeing this specifically with energy. So if those of you who know about Reiki and stuff like that, you can let me know what this is, because I'm getting messages about it, but I don't know that much about it personally. But I'm seeing you guys emanating a golden light, like the golden light shining from your body, like we see here with this Empress and with this Spessartine garnet. I'm really just seeing like this care for yourself is going to make you more attractive. It's going to give you a glow up. Even if your body doesn't physically change, when you reemerge from this self-love chrysalis, I think that's the word, you'll really be glowing. Like, you'll be glowing. People want to spend time with you. Like, you'll be attracting all sorts of admirers, specifically with the King of Pentacles, wealthy admirers, right? Like people who want to like support you. Or even with King of Pentacles here, this could be a thing where your boss finds you extra attractive or something like that. This could be a great time after this little incubation period when you come out of it, right? Like say you're incubating and you're taking that time. And I remember, take all the time you need to realign. And you'll know this because you're kind of lost right now in these social activities or these work activities. But once you take that time to realign, and for some of you, it's going to be a day. For some of you, it's going to be a month to 2 months, right? But what I'm really seeing is just when you take that time to realign yourself, when you take that time to really fill yourself up with self-love, when you reemerge, you'll have this golden light. I am specifically seeing people in authority that are related to money with the King of Pentacles here being positively and favorably predisposed to you. So what that means is that this could be a great time to ask for a raise. It really would be, especially if you've done the work to heal yourself. Even if you don't get the raise, it's a great time to ask for it or to push for it or to say, hey, I've been doing a lot of work. And even some of you, I'm seeing you opening up to your boss. Like, look, I've been really stressed out at work and I've been doing a lot of work and I feel like I'm not getting paid enough for what I do here, something like that. Because with King of Pentacles, it talks about your boss being sympathetic to you. It's like once you take the time out, you can even tell him, like, I took some time myself, I took a vacation. I feel a lot more energized for work. This could even be where it's not necessarily like a money thing from your boss, like you're asking for a raise, but maybe you're asking for more time off and a raise at the same time. So maybe it's like, I feel like I should be paid more for what I do. And then with the self-love card here, it's like, I need more time to myself, or I need to take care of myself. And I learned that. There's a feeling here that like your boss is favorably disposed to you in this period of time. Yeah, and it feels like you guys maybe haven't asked for a raise in a while or something like that, but it feels like some kind of good news about money coming in or something like that with the King of Pentacles here. And it's relating to someone who's in authority over you, possibly a male figure. So especially if your boss is a masculine energy and you're pretty more young than they are, then this could relate to you guys. Also, what I want to say with the King of Pentacles, the initial interpretation I was seeing with this card, but the reason I waited was for that message that I just said. But the original interpretation I was seeing too is with Sespertine Garnet. Garnets are, there's a myth about garnets where if you pass a garnet on to someone that you haven't, that you like or appreciate, if you have to be separated from this person for a while, just them passing that garnet on to them, brings them later, you'll re-encounter them in your life. It's like planting a seed to have someone from your past come back into your future, right? And so I'm seeing that there's a period of time where you might have some person, some older male, possibly an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or has earth sign placements, or who resembles an earth sign. We'll just say that. With the garnet here, there's a strong feeling that a person could come back into your life from the past, and it could spark up a new relationship. Or maybe you had to let go of someone because of a distance issue. Maybe for a relationship. For those of you who are in a long distance relationship and you're already dating someone, this is just an indication they're coming back into your life soon to spend some time with you. It might even be like, for some of you, you might be thinking like, oh yeah, right. But it's almost like they're going to be coming back suddenly, right? Like it might be a situation where they're like, I feel like taking 2 weeks off, and then they come back to hang out with you. And then with the self-love, you guys just spend a vacation at home, something like that. There's another option where the person could be moving kind of spontaneously, like their work calls them to move back home or something like that. And you get to, your past love comes back into your life, and you're like, okay, whether you're in the relationship or not, you guys you start something back up again because it was so easy and comfortable the first time, right? Yeah. Overall, with the Hangman here, I see you getting a sense of a perspective shift in this time alone, right? And the perspective shift is going to come from just nurturing and loving yourself, right? So like when you take that time for yourself, and even if you can't take time alone, right? The self-love itself, like treating yourself to your favorite food, or like going out to see your favorite friend, like favorite close friend, right? With this Five of Wands, I'm seeing like, just in general, this is more like your environment is kind of being aggressive, trying to push you into doing things for yourself, right? But for a lot of you, it's about being alone. It's about being in your own space. And take time to breathe out just means whatever you're doing that you're pushing so hard for, this Five of Wands, where there's all this competition, with take time to breathe out. It's about finding some space for yourself and just letting yourself exhale all that tension, letting yourself take in a deep breath and just exhale that tension, right? You've been in action mode for so long, whether that's with dating, whether that's with social activities, whether that's with work. And the love coming in is this feeling of self-love and really getting the chance to take a vacation, right? That's what the universe is offering you, is a chance to vacation, a chance for yourself, a chance to take time for yourself. For some of you, it's going to be a person coming in, and that's what causes you to take that vacation. But for others of you, this vacation is going to cause you to have a glow up, and it's going to attract positive vibrations from your boss, right? Also, if this is a new person coming in, this could just be someone from the past that's coming in. That could be an earth sign or earth sign energy. And that could be coming in after you have this self-love. It's like doing this self-love is actually attracting this person to you. Let me see if I see anything else. This was a quick one, and because we don't have any timing here, I'm looking at a lot of the leaves in this, and this deck is very fall themed in general, but we have like some flowers or leaves here, some orange leaves, which reminded me of fall, stuff like that. With the lightning bolts next to the King of Pentacles, I think the timing of this thing with the boss could be kind of sudden. And that's what I'm feeling for the person coming back in. If you had a person that you dated for a while and they just left your life and you really enjoyed their company, they could be coming back in. Because Garnet talks about that retrieval or that pulling back in of someone else. And with the golden color emanating from the Empress, it's like that glowing effect of your self-love is what attracts them back in. With the King of Pentacles, back to these lightning bolts, I think the information from your boss is going to be sudden, or the boss really taking care of you once you come back to work is going to be really sudden. It's almost like your boss realizes when you need to take a vacation and leave, they realize how much they need you, and then that's how you get the raise, something like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to end your guys' reading here. Thank you guys again so much for letting me read for you. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And if you want to help out the channel, you can like or comment below. other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. See you on a future video, hopefully, if you enjoyed this one. And yeah, see you later. Hey, group 4, this is if you picked this cool, clearish citrine. So let's get into your reading. So let's get a Moonology card for you guys. And for your psychic message, we have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. And, oh, we have one that flipped up. And we have raw Morganite for you guys as your other oracle card. Let's get some tarot cards for you, and then we'll pull a love story oracle card, and then we'll get into your love messages. Let's see, we have the Knight of Cups and Justice. We have the Queen of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. And let's get a love story oracle card for you guys. And we have healing. Okay. Okay, first with new moon in Gemini, with communication is key. This is representing with the new moon here, a fresh beginning. And with Gemini here, with communication is key, this new person coming in for love, yes, you have a new person coming in for love. You also have another person that you love that is being more closed off from you. So you have one person coming in love that is going to be a really positive relationship, really beneficial. And you have another person who is actually becoming more closed off in their relation to you. So it's really interesting how it's like a switcheroo or something like that, I guess you could say. So with communication is key here, this new relationship coming in is going to be like the communication is excellent. It's like, I feel like if you guys have had poor communication in the past in your relationships, this one is going to be beautiful. It's like you guys fully get each other's thoughts. There could be a psychic connection here with both of you as far as like understanding each other's thoughts, understanding where the other one's coming from. This person coming in, oh, this just came in. For a lot of you, you've already met this person, and this is your confirmation to know that this is them. If the communication's really easy between you two, this is the confirmation for you to know that this person is a good person and they're going to pan out in the long run, and they're going to be someone's going to be in your life for a while. Also with healing here, it's almost like the communication could have a healing effect. But I'm seeing healing more broadly tying in the whole reading in general. But with communication, this relationship you're either in or will be in soon has really good communication. Solid communication. Like you understand them. There's no difficulties in understanding what they're trying to tell you. There's no difficulties in like, did you really mean this or did you mean this? Or am I understanding what you're saying here, or do you actually mean this? For some of you, this person has the vocabulary that matches the way you understand language. So for a lot of you, this new person coming in, there's not going to be a language barrier. This will be someone that speaks your native tongue, I guess you could say. This is someone who speaks your own language. There's not going to be any communication issues. So for a lot of you, chances are this is not going to be someone who is foreign or has an accent. This is someone where the communication flows really easily. I also think you're going to really like their voice, right? You're really going to like their voice. There's something about talking with this person that's really beneficial. I think there's a good back and forth. I don't think anyone dominates the conversation. I think it's an easy back and forth. One person says some stuff, the other person says some stuff, and it just feels really easy and flows very naturally is kind of what I'm seeing. And this is just kind of being represented as a blessing, and it's also being represented here as a new moon or a new beginning. So this could also play into other aspects of your life where if you need to do a project or if there's something at work where communication is important in the work, or like maybe the work is asking you to like, okay, we need someone to give this presentation, right? If you've met this person, I've seen this new person coming in as the beginning of this period of communication that's positive, right? If you've already met this person, I would say sign up for the presentation, do that extra little bit of work and get those kudo points with your boss, because honestly, I see that your communication will be really well, you'll be very well received communication wise. Something could be going on with your third house in general, or Mercury in your chart or something like that. But yeah. And anyway, so let's get into, this person. So with Knight of Cups and Justice here, you are receiving positive karma for how you treated someone in the past. There was someone that was going through a really difficult time. For most of you, it was in this lifetime, and you really helped them out of a jam. You were kind to them, you were helpful to them, and you showed them true compassion. I don't even know if you realize the effects of what you did for this person, but this person remembers it deeply, and they've constantly been thinking about this nice thing you did to them. So whatever the nice thing was that you said or did, this person is thinking about it and dwelling on it. And those positive vibrations are emanating into your frequency. And so it's kind of, how do I put this? I wish I had paper and a pen. Okay, so let's say that you're over here and this person's over here. You met them at one point and you did this really nice thing to them, right? And you were like, oh yeah, of course I'll get you that, or don't worry about that, or you know what? Maybe you gave them really good advice, maybe you helped them out financially. I'm not sure what the karma was, but you did something to someone that was really kind and really considerate. So when you guys separated, right, and you no longer saw this person, and you guys might not even realize who this person is, I'm going to be honest, because it could have been something that was more hidden. But this is where the healing card comes in. You healed them profoundly. So they are going to deeply remember it. They remember that healing. And what's happening is when they think about it in their memories, they're emanating an aura off of them. It's a psychic thing. It's like they're emanating positive vibrations towards you. And those positive vibrations are actually traveling to you over here, right? And it's actually pulling people into that vibrational field that are a match to, so that karma can be returned to you. That's the best way I can explain it with the metaphysics of it. But like basically this Knight of Cups person, right, is, because you can look at this imagery, right? This Knight of Cups, I mean, I know he's stone, but there's a deer here. He's on a deer, and there's a well of water. I'm seeing this deer coming over here to drink from this well. This well is what's represented as you guys, right? You're the thing that is drawing in the positive vibrations from this person that you previously helped. So what's happening is that a person is getting caught up in those vibrations and drifting towards you. And this is the best way I can explain what's going on, like on an energetic level. So bear with me, guys. But basically, this person is being drawn towards you, right? And so they're going to run into you and they're going to meet you. Communication is going to be excellent. That's just one of the little cherries on the cake of this person coming in. I also think this person coming in is confident in a way that's like soothing. You know, this person has like a sense of confidence about them that is really soothing or really refreshing. I think this person is really at ease with themselves. And so I think that's that's going to be really pleasant in this connection. Yeah, you did something very good to someone in the past, and that is coming back to you are getting the benefits of that. Definitely. This healing is really just representative. Excuse me. This healing is really just representative of like the effects you did on that person in the past. And this is kind of showing you how healing can reverberate when you do something really nice for someone. You know, it's like you get good things because you did something and you didn't even realize the nice thing you did, but you really helped someone out of a jam is kind of what I'm seeing. And they really needed that help. Like they were pretty desperate. Whether they seemed desperate or not, they were really desperate. So that's the person coming in. That's the new person coming in. That's the person that is going to be the Knight of Cups is like that dream partner, you know. Cups is feelings and romance and intuition and beauty and all those good things. And so with the Knight of Cups energy here, it's like this person is coming in. You know, they're drifting towards you because of someone else's positive thoughts about you. So this next situation here, we have the Queen of Swords energy. And we have the Four of Pentacles energy, and we have the Raw Morganite. This is someone going out of your life, right? Just as someone's positive thoughts towards you can magnify positive people towards you, when, how do I put this? Okay. This person, okay. This person, sorry, my air just turned on, so kind of confirmation. I'm trying to collect my thoughts for this because I mean, it's probably not going to sound that complicated when I talk about it, but it seems complicated in my head for some reason. Maybe this situation for you is kind of complicated, but there's a person in your life who is becoming more and more closed off to you. Someone who's becoming more and more secretive and you don't understand why. This person is leaving your life mainly because this person coming in is here to take your mind off this person, right? This person also that's leaving your life might just need a little more time and space to think about things. They might also be leaving your life because there's something related to money involved, where there's something related to wanting to be more closed off, or this could even be a coworker that you don't work well with or something like that. But for most of you, I see you deeply care about this person, right? You deeply care about this person. With the Queen of Swords here, it's giving strong energy. This is probably someone in your life that, man, I'm having such a hard time putting this person together. Ultimately, with the healing energy here, you're meant to heal this person. Oh, okay, that's what it is. It's in an inadvertent way, right? Because it's like, I was thinking, like, how are they going to heal them when they're becoming more closed off, right? It's like paying it forward, right? Like, this person's coming into your life, but you're going to be thinking about this person. And it's not to say you love this person any less, right? It's not that you don't love the Knight of Cups person any less. And for most of you, this Queen of Swords energy is someone either of the same sex, or this is someone who could be a nurturing figure, like a mother or something like that, or a grandmother. But basically, you're meant to remember the positive moments with this person, and stories about this person might come up in this relationship. So when this person comes in, you might be telling stories about how much you love this person in this relationship. Now that's reverberating out to this person, right? And this person's going to feel those loving vibes, but it's hard to explain because they're still going to be closed off from you in the current time when you're feeling those feelings. But it's almost like, how do I put it? What happened to you where you helped that one person, they thought positively about you, and then they kind of got someone stuck in their stream to send them over? That's what's happening with this person. So you can think of it this way, like this person is becoming more closed off from you, more reserved from you, more distant from you. That might be something in love that's difficult to deal with, or that you find a little bit difficult to deal with. And I'm not sure which of these happens first, if this person closes off and falls away first, or this person comes in. But there's some vibe of like this person closing off and falling away out of your life. And then this is kind of like a motherly, it might not even be motherly, but like how do I put this? It's very a feminine energy in general. So this is someone who maybe is a better listener or something like that. But overall, this person is leaving your life, but they left you, how do I put it? They left a positive impact on you, right? And when you think about them, when you think about this person and what they did, or when you share stories about them with this friend that you have over here, this new lover that's coming in, wherever they are, even though they're separate from you, right? Say you're over here and they're over here, very similar to your situation with the karma, right? The vibrations you're sending their way by thinking positive thoughts about them, by wanting them to do good in their life, by wanting them to be better, help, and have a more healing presence, right? That's going to put another person into the slipstream to send to them. So they're actually going to get a person or a gift, or something good is coming into their life because of the good they did for you. So you can see in this reading, karma plays a big effect on this. And a lot of healing is playing a big effect on this too. It's like healing karma, or karma that heals. You know, it's almost like what you put out is what you get back. And just as when that person left that you did the good thing for, and this person came in way later, right? The good thing that's happening to your friend or the good thing that's happening to this person will happen later for them. It's like there's someone's getting caught in the stream and they're going to start to make their way towards them, right? That kind of thing. So with raw morganite here, 4 and 6 boils down to a 10, and I kind of see 10 as like sudden shifts of things at this point in my life. Like the number 10 reminds me of sudden shifts. I know 10 also in more traditional circles represents completion and the ending point and like moving from beginning to end. But the way I'm seeing it is almost like a sudden shift in love. A sudden shift in love, in compassion. With raw morganite, this is a pink stone, and it's very clear. It's almost see-through. So there's a feeling of being able to see right to the heart. And your citrine was see-through too, which is so wild. It's like being able to see through people, being able to see through to the heart of the matter, being able to see clearly. It's like if there was any kind of Neptunian moon kind of energy or clouded energy where you couldn't really get a clear grip on your life or something like that, clarity is coming in for you. A clear path forward, a lot of clarity, a lot of clear communication. You have a clear understanding in this relationship. It's like both people have clear intentions, you know? The only thing that could be cloudy is this person leaving. I don't know if you realize why they're leaving, and I don't think that matters. They really just need space and time away from you guys, and it could be one of those things where they need time away from you for whatever reason, but at the same time, you still love them and care about them, and that will send good vibes their way. Right? Now, keep in mind, if you have a person that you're in your life and you have a conflictual thing and you don't like them and they don't like you, something like that, that's not who this is talking about. That person might leave too, who knows? But this person that's leaving is someone you really admire and value, and you have really positive, amazing thoughts about them. They're just going to be leaving. And that's kind of the sad thing, because it's someone you value and they'll be stepping away for a while, but they're going to have good things go to them. Now, this new person coming in, this is a fresh start, this is a fresh beginning, this is a very romantic connection with the Knight of Cups here. And with communication is key. The main thing with this person is you'll be able to communicate really clearly and easily with them. And this is just positive karma for some good you did in the past, a good action you did in the past, and you're reaping the benefits of someone else's positive thoughts towards you. Whereas this person who's going away is eventually going to reap the benefits of the positive thoughts you're having towards them. So I guess the moral of the story, right? This feels like very much like a parable or something. It's just that like good things come around. You know, what goes around comes around. You can, think about that expression. What goes around comes around. And there's just little slipstreams in life where people are following, paths of goodness and traveling towards other people. And, you don't realize that sometimes, I think people don't realize that oftentimes they can be an instrument of good. If you have good intentions and you want to do good in the world, you can be an instrument of healing, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's, how do I put it? Like, if people are sending out thought vibrations all the time and pushing things towards other and pulling things in towards themselves, right? You could be just flowing along, and because you have a good nature, you naturally gravitate to the good waves or the good thought patterns that are flowing to another person, and you become that good thing that goes to their life, right? That's a great example of this. Of what's happening around you and to you and what will happen. It's almost like, it's cool. You're like kind of summoning people to you that are getting caught in the positive vibrations you're creating. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And you're also sending people out to other people that are getting stuck in the positive vibrations. You're like thinking about others too. So I hope this reading was clear. It was kind of a little bit confusing, but then when I saw that this is kind of mirroring this, it made a lot of sense. And yeah, I really think a lot of clarity is coming for you. I think a lot of clarity, a lot of healing. Here's the thing with the healing. It's not that the next thing in love is going to be, you're going to get some healing. It's like the whole thing is healing. The whole dynamic of everyone playing around in this whole big like arena of this reading is healing. This person's getting healed. This person's going to heal you. You did healing for someone else. Someone's going to come do healing for them. You know, it's kind of like what goes around comes around. And so the more good and healing you do for someone else, the more good and healing is going to come your way, essentially, or the more good and healing you're going to create for other people in the world. So yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again for letting me read for you. If you want to help out the channel and you really enjoyed this reading, please like or comment below. It really helps out. And with that said, I'm going to end your reading here and we're going to move on to the last group. Thank you guys again for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hey group 5, this is if you picked the Danburite. So fun fact, fair warning, I just want to tell you that I'm filming this reading after the other 4 groups, like a couple days after. I kind of got busy doing various different things. So let's get into your reading. So psychic love messages for group 5. What is coming in next that they need to know about? What information needs to come through about love that group 5 needs to know about? We have balanced spirituality and practicality. Let's get you a crystal spirit card. And we have, for you guys, we have petrified wood. Then let's get you some tarot cards. This is from the Under the Oak Tarot. So, messages for love for group 5. We have 9 of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Do one more quick shuffle for the next 2. And then we also have Judgment, and we have 7 of Pentacles. Then I want to pull a Love Story Oracle card, and then we'll get into your reading. So what Love Story Oracle card needs to come through for today's reading? We have Rejection. Interesting. Okay. So let's look at... Okay, let's get into your reading. First, I want to point out with balanced spirituality and practicality, there have been some issues in your life. With rejection here, I feel like you guys were recently rejected. For those of you who were not recently rejected by someone or didn't experience rejection by a love interest, or like maybe you asked someone out and they said no, or someone, how do I put this? You're not, for some of you, you're just feeling rejected. I'll say that. For some of you, you're just feeling rejected by someone. Someone's giving you the cold shoulder. They're not answering your texts. They're not answering your calls, stuff like that. You just feel in general very rejected. There are components to this reading that are going to help with that, but let's get into it. Basically, what I want to say for the beginning is, if you were rejected or you're feeling very rejected, this is your group. If you're not going through that energy right now, maybe this is not your reading for the current time. Maybe it'll be a reading for you in the future. But right now, this reading probably won't resonate, because it's going to resonate more with people who are currently going through the experience of rejection. So with rejection here, we have 2 matchsticks, right? We have a burnt out matchstick that is pointed towards these 2 tarot cards, and then we have a lit up matchstick that's pointed towards the Judgment and the 7 of Pentacles. It's almost like there is a path you're going down and the road splits, and it's like you can choose one path or the other path. And what I'm seeing right now is you guys are so focused on this particular person. Hints about this person: they probably have very earth sign energy. They're probably very practical in general. There's a feeling of them being kind of like seeming like a more practical person than you guys are. You guys watching this, I'm seeing you as very spiritual people, or very like much out of touch with this reality, right? And that can be a good or bad thing, you know? Being too out of touch with this reality, you know, you can lack realism, or like it, you know, you're in Delulu land and you're not seeing things clearly for what they are. And so a sense of grounding can be beneficial to get a clearer perspective on what's really going on. Not that hope is a bad thing. I think hope is a really good thing, but hope in a form of delusion can be a bad thing, right? Where you're not seeing things clearly or accurately, or you're persisting with something even though the signs from the universe are showing you otherwise, that this person is not right for you or they're not the right vibe for you or something like that, it's like persisting anyway with your own concepts of what you think is right for you is kind of the way I'm seeing it a little bit. It could go the other way too for some of you, where you've been getting lots of signs about this person that you're meant to be with this person or see this person, but they just keep rejecting you over and over again. And one thing that I'm seeing here is a lot of this stuff is playing in with the Nine of Swords. There's a little bit of anxiety going on with your guys' mental state is kind of what I'm seeing. And so oftentimes, here's how we can know if a sign from the universe is good for us or not. Because if we have anxiety when we experience the sign, it might not be the sign it might not be a sign leading us in the right direction, right? It might be a sign like a warning or something like that. With the Nine of Swords, I see a little bit of anxiety when it comes to this person. So it's almost like you had a crush on someone, but they didn't make you feel safe. They didn't make you feel content in yourself. There's a feeling that this person gave you a little bit of anxiety, but there was also crushing elements there too. Like having a crush on someone is what I'm talking about. Where you were like physically attracted to them, or there was something about their personality or something like that. And remember, this reading probably does not apply to you if you're not experiencing the feeling of rejection right now. If you're experiencing the feeling of rejection right now, this reading will apply. With Knight of Pentacles, this person has that opposite vibe to you guys. So if you guys are very head in the clouds and daydreamy, this person's very opposite of that. They're very practical, grounded, and down to earth. They're very realistic with this Knight of Pentacles card here. And they have kind of a sense of like pragmatism about them. And in that way, they're a representation of the transformation you guys are going to be going through pretty soon. And so in a way, they're meant to be in your life. It's not like this person is a mistake or it was a mistake to fall in love with them. Anything like that. They were meant to represent a counterpoint in your outer world that represents an inner transformation. So with balanced spirituality and practicality, even though this person has rejected you, or even though this person is not giving you the time of day, and even though this person is not paying attention to you, they're a representative of an archetype that you're meant to embody. That's the best way I can put it. So you can look to them as almost like a role model, even though you're attracted to them. This is just pointing out that the more you embody their characteristics, you're going to become more attractive yourself. That's another thing that's happening here. But it's interesting how the universe wants you to provide this energy for yourself versus seeking it from external sources, right? You're getting a little glimpse into a person that you could be. And in a way, the reason you have a crush on this person is because there's this feeling of like, I really admire them. You know, I really admire them. I really like who they are. I really like what they're about, stuff like that. I really like how down to earth they are. And here's the thing, when you become more like this person, it's not that you're becoming more like this person, it's that you're gaining that kind of aspect of practicality, pragmatism, and realism that is necessary for your spiritual development, right? We have the full moon in Pisces, we have the two fish swimming around each other. This is kind of an interesting sign. Pisces is an interesting sign for this reading because just like Pisces, there's a duality here. It's a double-bodied sign, right? So there's two fish. There's not just one fish, there's two fish. And so sometimes it's like looking at the other fish and you're thinking it's separate from yourself, but really the fish in Pisces, I think they're actually tied together by a rope or by a chain or something. So really this other person is technically a part of yourself. It's very dualistic in this sense. It's like this person represents a part of yourself that's been repressed. But they're rejecting you because you're not meant to accumulate it from the outside. You're not meant to see it from the outside. You're meant to experience it from within. Very Piscean, right? Very within, inner world kind of water sign energy here. And so rejection is pointing on this side of the page where it's represented this person as someone that is going to constantly elude you or reject you. And then your own anxiety, right? You're experiencing your own anxiety with this connection because you don't necessarily feel comfortable. They're attractive. It can be kind of stimulating, but there's a feeling of underlying anxiety as well. With the matchstick that's lit up, this is kind of the energy that this person is reflecting you towards, right? First of all, with petrified wood makes me think of our ancestors. It makes me think of the living world. It makes me think of nature. It makes me think of the earth. It also makes me think of past lives. I really think that this person is kind of an archetype of a past life that you once had or something that you're reconnecting with in this time period. I also think that with petrified wood here, you'll be communicating with your ancestors about this new perspective, this new personality shift you're going to be going through. With petrified wood here, I think your family is going to be really key and pivotal to understanding where you're coming from. And also your family is going to be pivotal into the direction you're going in. Yeah, I think talking to grandparents or anyone in your family who knows family lore or family history, especially if you have someone who knows family lore, family history, they know passed on uncles or great uncles or great grandparents or something like that. Anyone who knows about the personalities of these people, hearing stories about your ancestors, and even if you don't have access to that information through a family member or through a resource like 23andMe or something like that, you can actually look up your last name and you can track where your last name comes from and you can see what your ancestors were up to. I can't remember how I tracked this. It was just Google searching, right? But I mean, you can kind of intuitively surf the internet for information. And even if it's not necessarily like exactly perfectly matched up to your bloodline, if you follow the clues of like what you were told by your family, like, oh, we're from this ancestry and we're descended from this part of the world or something like that, the more you follow those paths and the deeper you get, you'll start to find aspects about those types of people, personality traits that were embedded in the culture of those groups of people. And you might find that there was some elements of practicality to these cultures, to these groups. There might be some elements of realism or groundedness to these groups. And in a way, there could even be spiritual practices that you find in these groups, these ancestors of yours, that help ground you in the long run, right? They're a part of you that's going to ground you. So I really think that there's some time with spending with family where you're talking about the past, how you grew up, what your parents and your grandparents' time was like as far as like how they grew up and their experiences growing up. And I think this feeling about the past is actually going to light you up to experience this new personality that you're emerging into. It's going to help solidify that and tie in it's going to connect the dots essentially. So it's going to connect the dots where right now I see you're feeling a little bit lost chasing this person who's a love interest. And so really you're getting like this love of self-understanding when it's coming to what's going on in your love life right now. And I see it as very, very liberating, honestly, because with this person, like if you look closely at this situation, it's just causing you to be in a loop of pain, right? And it doesn't matter how long you're in the loop of pain. This will all be waiting for you when you exit the loop of pain, right? It's just that this loop that you're in with this painful cycle, you might have realized it's kind of, it could be wearing on you is kind of what I'm seeing, but it might not be at the point where it's wearing on you where you want to escape it. Sometimes I feel energies through the YouTube video or the camera or whatever. I'm just feeling your guys' energy. And it might not be that you're not ready to let go of this person as like your ideal mate or someone that you want to be with. And that's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world to have a crush on someone and them not like you back, especially if you're persistent. That can be a really good thing. A lot of people really admire persistence in our society, and someone stepping up to the plate and saying you want someone over and over again, that consistency is key. But at the end of the day, if the other person isn't interested, the effort's kind of futile, and then also then that can border on lines of like, if you're too persistent, right, that can border on lines of like stalking and stuff like that. And I don't think you guys are doing anything like that. I'm just saying like the more persistent you are, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a more profitable result. Sometimes we need detours in life. And like this thing, it's like you have the option for two paths, The universe is kind of going to be tempting you with things with family, right? Like things with family, maybe things with work, but things with family really are going to be pulling your attention in one direction, and it's going to feel peaceful and wholesome and content. And then this other person's going to be kind of pulling you in this direction. But every time you go in this direction, you'll notice you'll either get blocked off, they won't want to hang out, or there's this feeling of going in this direction of getting anxiety, or when you spend time with them, or anxiety about thinking about them, something like that. So honestly, with this direction with the lit up match, let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the direction that you can go in to achieve positive love for yourself. With the Judgment card here, Judgment is about awakening and emerging and activation. It's about kind of like, the way I see Judgment too is it's like you're being activated as well as other people are being activated. I also, in this particular card, we have various different forms of animals that are represented in this deck in particular. We have the mice, the rabbits, the snakes, and then right in the back we have this deer with a flame right above its head, right where the crown chakra would be. This girl here, her blindfold is being taken off, but her eyes are still covered by leaves. The tree is splitting in two, which is further indication of the two paths you could grow down. You could grow one way or the other. And remember, it's not like a tree in the sense that once you choose a path, you're stuck on that trunk, that tree trunk, right? It's like no matter what, your family's always going to be here to provide that warmth. So whenever you're ready to jump over, you'll be accepted, right? There'll be a time where you'll feel ready. You'll be so sick of this person, you'll be ready to jump over and find out about your past, your heritage, and find out more about yourself. And you'll realize this person in particular was a pivotal point that you needed to learn from to discover a different side of yourself that you're emerging into. So with Judgment here, ultimately, this is like a call to action, right? A call to action, and it's almost like a lot of people with you on that call to action. So even though you guys will be standing up for yourselves, you'll be standing up for your family and your heritage, it's like they're all backing you. They're all backing your decision. They're all backing what you're going through. They're all there when you take that blindfold off. You know, it's like you're not seeing clearly right now, but they're going to help you take that blindfold off. They'll be there when you open your eyes and you see things as they really are, right? Remember this balance, spirituality and practicality. You could be too lost in a delusion or a fantasy right now, which can be the downside of like fully immersing in spirituality to the point where you lose aspects of reality, you know? And the thing about this is like, it's very like, it's like a Neptunian energy. It's funny Pisces is here because in some circles, Pisces is associated with Neptune. But it's almost like you're blinded by what's going on in the situation. But you can feel it deeper down with that anxiety. You know you're having anxiety about it and you can feel it deeper down. And truly anything that causes you anxiety is not worth your time. You know, I honestly think that this Judgment card is like a purification. I'm seeing this flame in the rejection matchstick, and I'm seeing this flame above this pure deer. It's like you're being offered this gift of purification to purify your inner world, right? This Nine of Swords is such a cold card, right? And this card is so warm and inviting and colorful, right? So with the Judgment card, I really feel like you're going to be awakening, right? Judgment talks about awakening, talks about coming out of a period of really analyzation, being in your head, being to yourself and being awakened to the reality around you, you know? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. And it's all going to be helped by your family. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is the last card, and I haven't really covered it too much, but it's really interesting because I think that there's going to be some kind of mystery with the Seven of Pentacles. Because if you look at this woman here, she's standing in this cave and she's looking into this cave and there's these golden drops of like, it's almost like golden blood is kind of what I'm seeing. And I'm thinking of blood as in your heritage, your bloodline, or your family heritage, you know? And even if you're adopted, looking into your adoptive parents' heritage is still going to be relevant. I can't tell you how many times, like I know blood is really important for like family ties and, you know, there's certain blood ancestral rites and magic and stuff that exist in our world. But I have to tell you that it doesn't just it's not just a blood thing. It really isn't. Souls come into this life together or in groups and in clans. And so you might have someone through marriage to like a relative or something that is in line with something you want to do. For example, in my own life, my aunt, it's funny, my aunt actually makes jewelry and she looks into crystals and stuff like that. And my grandpa, blood grandpa, right, was really into jewelry and crystals and stones and stuff like that. And I didn't even find this out till way later after I got into stones, but it was my aunt, who's not blood related to me, who got me into crystals, or who helped me, showed me my first gem show and showed me how to wire wrap jewelry and stuff like that. And so souls come together in clans, and they stick together in clans. And even though she's my aunt through marriage, it's literally no blood tie, but there's so many actual blood tied things to her that are ancestral kind of patterns. So even if you are looking at your ancestry, you can even look at people who've married into your family. You can look at people you really relate to who resemble you, even if they're not blood. So this is like step parents or adoptive parents. You know, this is just something having to do with your family lineage or the people that raised you. With Seven of Pentacles, that blood in the golden droplets. Let me get back to that. The blood in the golden, she's looking into this cave, curious, what's in this cave? I think when you look within, you'll find that there's like a golden path into your inner psyche, right? This is also a Seven of Pentacles talking about planting seeds for the future. I really feel you're going to start to learn certain things about your destiny and your life path through kind of the practicalities of your family, or it's even could be spiritual stuff from your family, but I'm seeing the practicalities are important here, because with petrified wood and the Judgment card, it's about waking up to reality. And in doing so, getting grounded enough to see the truth of a situation, right? Spirituality is not just living in a fantasy world and not being able to see reality for what it is. You know, it takes two to tango, right? There's two sides to the same coin. You know, it's like you have to work with reality in order to get spiritual concepts, and you have to work with spirituality to make reality more magical and meaningful, right? And so what I'm seeing here is you guys are just getting a sense of realism and actually more meaning by becoming more grounded, more meaning, more love. And I think you're going to have, in this upcoming phase, once you let go of this person, really close bonds with your family in this time. And I'm not saying you're not going to meet someone. I'm not saying you're never going to have a partner. I'm not saying you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. All I'm saying is that right now, where your love is pointing you towards is to your ancestry, to your family, to awakening up to the reality around you, to a purification of your anxiety. One thing that's coming in love for sure, once you move away from this person, is you're going to feel freed from your anxiety. That's worth it in and of itself. To be anxiety free, that's worth it in and of itself. And with this Seven of Pentacles, with this golden trail going into the cave and her being curious about it, it's like this sense of curiosity about your own inner world, right? There's not really a fear to look inside anymore. There's not really a fear to dig deep within oneself. There's kind of like a knowledge that the more I dig, the more I find, and the more connected I am to other people. This can even go as far, the more you dig into this inner world. I mean, this could be considered shadow work, but it seems a lot more fun than that. Like if you look up shadow work and you see how dark and crazy it is, and it's like you have to confront your deepest fears. It's not like that. It's like having a path lit for you by your family, and then all of a sudden you're looking within and you're like, wow, this is actually really pretty in here. Like I understand this component now because I have the pieces to put it together. I know what has come before me. I know the past, so I know how my inner world works now. It's like getting that knowledge to see how your inner mind operates. And so with Seven of Pentacles here, it's really cool because you get to look within, and it's not a scary thing. It's actually exciting. It's rejuvenating. It's fun. And that's in a way, you know, it's shining a light on your inner world, which is really kind of what was causing the anxiety in the first place. I mean, there was other things causing the anxiety. Like this person was emanating a polarizing force that actually caused you a little bit of anxiety. But it's also eliminating like deeper fears, right? Deeper fears, right? All through the path of like blood magic and ancestral work, and seeing the soul tribe that you grew up with or that you come from and what those people are like. It's like getting in touch with your roots is kind of what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are moving into like something to do with your fourth house coming up soon, where you're dealing with home and family. And even with the reality here, it's giving me like Venus in the fourth house, or it's giving me like Saturn in the fourth house, something like that. Like Venus, Saturn conjunct in the fourth house. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. I study it and I'm obsessed with it, but I'm not an astrologer. Tarot is my specialty. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. Just know that like there's always love in the world, even if it's not in the ways you expect, right? Even if you think that the only way you can find love is through a partner or through another person, there are still moments in time, and I say moments because I believe you will end up with someone one day that is right for you and that doesn't cause you anxiety. But there are moments when love comes to us in all different ways, shapes, and forms, right? It can come from friends, it can come from family, it can come from lovers, it can come from society, it can come from a being of love within us that emanates and we see the world as loving, right? So just remember all that, like it's up to you guys to reorient when you're feeling uncomfortable. I mean, no one else is going to do that for you. If you're feeling anxious about something or something's not working out and it's like beating your head against a wall that is not going to move. It's like when really if you walked a little bit away from the wall, there's like an archway or a pathway or a doorway, and you can just open the door and walk into the building. You might not be moving through that exact point in the brick wall or the wall in front of you, but when you go around to see the door and you go through the door, you're inside the building. You are feeling love. You are feeling satisfied. There's no lack. There's no feeling of lack of love. There's like a feeling of full, embodied, loving energy. So just keep that in mind. And with the white deer here in the fire here, I really feel like there's going to be a little bit of a purification of a lot of the darkness that's going on inside your own psyche. So that's something that's also going to be beautiful. It's kind of like self-love, but it's more like having the love kind of cleanse you from the outside in is kind of how I see it. And yeah, just so you know, with this practicality, balanced spirituality, practicality, this Knight of Pentacles also represents almost who you're becoming as well. I think you guys are going to have a more grounded approach to life, which will be really amazing. And I think you're going to adopt that from some specific family member or family members, plural. And yeah, you might also have a glow up. I'm actually seeing that now too, now that I see it. You might have a glow up because of this family dynamic. It's like your family helps you get more attractive or something, or there's something about exercising with your family or something like that, or any kind of grounded pursuit, right? Which could be like very, very physical, right? Yeah, I'm gonna end your guys' reading there. If you guys enjoyed this reading, yeah, I really enjoyed reading for you guys. And if you want to help out the channel, like or comment below, please do that if the reading resonated. And with that said, I thoroughly enjoyed reading for you. This was a fun group. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.